The 2026 World Cup ball is connected. That's not a marketing gimmick, it has an actual brain inside it. A tiny sensor package that talks to the referee in real time. This ball knows where it is, how fast it's spinning, and exactly when it crossed a line. It can tell the difference between a handball and a shoulder. It can flag an offside before the human eye even registers the pass. This isn't the future of football technology. It's happening right now, and it's about to change how the game is played forever. When we say the ball is connected, we mean it's a live data transmitter on the pitch. Every time a player touches it, the ball sends information to a control room. Where it was contacted, how hard, at what angle, and whether it crossed any critical lines. This isn't a one-way conversation either. The system processes the data and sends decisions back to the referee's watch in under half a second. The ball isn't just an object players kick around anymore. It's a wireless sensor broadcasting 500 times per second. Inside the ball sits a sensor hub that weighs less than an AA battery. It hovers at the exact center of the ball, suspended so it stays balanced no matter how the ball spins. Inside that hub, you get a gyroscope that measures rotational velocity, an accelerometer for linear force, and an EMU inertial measurement unit that tracks the ball's exact position in 3D space. Every touch, every spin, every millimeter of movement gets registered. The sensor doesn't just know the ball moved, it knows exactly how it moved. The sensor inside the ball transmits data at 500 Hz. That's 500 individual data points every single second. To put that in perspective, your average video game runs at 60 frames per second. This ball sends data more than 8 times faster than that. Every kick generates a burst of telemetry velocity, spin, impact zone, trajectory. That data travels wirelessly to receivers positioned around the stadium, which relay it to a central processing system. The round-trip ball to receiver to processor to referee takes under 0.3 seconds. Goal line technology has existed for a while, but the connected ball takes it to another level. Instead of relying on camera systems like Hawkeye, the ball itself knows when it crosses the line. The EMU detects the exact coordinate of the ball in relation to the goal line. If any part of the ball crosses any part of the line, a signal fires instantly to the referee's watch. No camera angles to debate, no freeze frame controversy, no ghost goals. The ball is the authority, and it doesn't get confused. Handball decisions are some of the most controversial calls in football. The connected ball solves this. The EMU sensor doesn't just track position, it detects the material that contacts the ball. A hand has a different impact signature than a shoulder, a chest, or a thigh. The sensor measures the rebound angle, the force distribution, and the surface texture of the impact. If the ball was touched by an arm or hand below the shoulder line, the system flags it. No more "it hit his hand, but he didn't mean it" debates. The ball knows. Offside calls used to require a linesman's judgment, camera angles, and a lot of slow motion arguing. The connected ball changes the timing. The sensor knows the exact millisecond the ball was played. Combined with player tracking cameras, the system knows exactly where every attacker and defender was at that precise moment. The ball's internal clock syncs with the stadium tracking system, so there's zero ambiguity about when the pass was released. The ball effectively stamps the time, and the system does the rest. No more "when did the ball leave his foot" debates. The referee doesn't have a headset screaming data at them. It's subtler than that. The system sends a secure wireless signal to an earpiece and a wrist device. The earpiece gives a short audio cue, a specific tone for goal, handball, or offside. The wrist device shows a visual confirmation. A green checkmark means the play is valid. A red X with a description means something was detected. The referee can glance at their wrist and get the full picture in under a second. No confusion, no delays, no excuses. The sensor in the ball is accurate to within 5 millimeters. That's about the thickness of your pinky finger. If the ball grazes the goal line by a centimeter, it's detected. If a hand touches the ball with less than 5 newtons of force, it's detected. The gyroscope measures rotation down to 0.1 degrees per second. This level of precision means there's virtually no gray area. The data doesn't guess. It measures. And it measures with a tolerance that makes human eyes look primitive by comparison. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. The ball tracks everything. Every touch, every pass, every shot, it's all recorded. That's great for refereeing decisions. But it also means every player's action on the ball becomes data. Clubs, analysts, and even betting companies could theoretically access granular data about individual performances. The ball doesn't care who's kicking it, but it knows exactly how they kicked it. FIFA says the data is match-critical only and not stored long-term. But in an era of data leaks, the question lingers, should a ball know this much? No technology is perfect. The connected ball runs on a battery that lasts about 4 to 6 hours. That's fine for one match. But what about extra time? What if a ball is overused in training and the sensor dies mid-game? The system has a failsafe if the ball's sensor stops transmitting. The referee's device immediately alerts them. The ball is swapped out, and the backup ball takes over. But there's a more subtle problem: electromagnetic interference. Stadium lighting, broadcasting equipment, and even phone signals can cause data corruption. The system has filters, but they're not perfect. To understand how radical this is, look at the history. In 1930, the World Cup ball was a leather ball with laces. It absorbed water, got heavier in the rain, and had no two games the same. By 2010, the Jabulani was controversial for its unpredictable flight. By 2022, the Al Rila had motion tracking for semi-automated offside. The 2026 ball takes all of that and adds internal sensing. It's not just a ball that flies predictably, it's a ball that talks. The evolution from kick it and hope to kick it and the ball tells you what happened is the biggest leap in sports equipment history. Players have mixed feelings. On one hand, the ball feels the same weight, same bounce, same flight characteristics. FIFA made sure the sensors didn't change the ball's behavior. On the other hand, knowing every touch is being recorded makes some players uneasy. Defenders worry about handball calls being too strict. Attackers love the idea that their goals will never be wrongly disallowed. The general consensus: the technology is impressive, but it removes some of the game's human chaos. And football has always been a game of human error and controversy. The connected ball isn't just for matches. Training balls have the same sensors, and coaches are already using the data. Every shot in practice generates a readout: ball speed, spin, placement accuracy. Coaches can see if a player's left-footed passes have less spin than their right. They can track whether a striker's shot accuracy drops after 60 minutes of training. They can measure the exact weight of a pass. It turns subjective coaching opinions into objective data. Your passing was off today becomes your pass accuracy dropped from 92% to 74% after the 70th minute. If the ball can have a sensor, what else can? Smart shin guards that detect impact force for injury monitoring. Smart boots that track sprint distance and acceleration. Smart goalposts that measure the exact angle of a shot that hits the crossbar. The connected ball is the first domino. Once the infrastructure is in place, the receivers, the processors, the referee integration, adding other smart equipment is just a software update away. The 2026 World Cup ball isn't the destination. It's the door opening to an entirely connected football ecosystem. This changes the game at a fundamental level. Referees now have a second opinion that never blinks, never gets tired, and never gets influenced by the crowd. Players can no longer argue "I didn't touch it" when the data says otherwise. The game becomes more honest, but it also becomes more mechanical. Some argue that part of football's beauty is the debate, the pub arguments about whether it was a handball or not. The connected ball kills those debates. You can't argue with a sensor. The question is, does that make football better? Or does it sanitize the sport we love? The 2026 World Cup is the first truly data-driven tournament in football history. 48 teams, 104 matches, and every single ball is reporting back to a central system. The data generated in one match would fill thousands of pages. But the ultimate goal isn't more data. It's better decisions. The connected ball represents football finally accepting that technology can coexist with tradition. The game doesn't lose its soul because the ball can think. It gains clarity. The controversy might be fun, but getting the call right matters more. And getting it right is exactly what this ball was built to do. So when you watch the 2026 World Cup, pay attention to the referees. Watch them glance at their wrist after a goal. Watch the pause before a handball decision. That's the connected ball doing its job. You're watching the moment football stopped relying on human eyes alone. The ball has a brain, and that brain is making the game fairer, one kick at a time. If you found this breakdown useful, subscribe to WCC 26 Matrix for more World Cup 2026 explainers. We break down the tournament you're watching so you can understand the game behind the game.